In today's video, I'm gonna be covering everything, and I mean everything you guys need to know about technical analysis. So I'm going to be focusing on the major 4 points you guys need to master if you want to be a GOAT or a master in technical analysis. So the first one will be time frames, and then followed by ray lines. After that, it's gonna be structure, and then we're gonna be ending with the entry. So guys, I want you guys to listen attentively. This is gonna be strictly from beginner to advanced straight. If you are a beginner, sorry to disturb your viewing, guys. I have some good news for you all. I'm offering free VIP trading signal for the first 20 people that are gonna create and verify a trading account with the market and fund your account with a minimum of $50 to $100 using the link below. After you're done, give me a text on WhatsApp so I add you guys on the VVIP signal group. And after that, I'm also gonna be adding you on my private Discord server, right? What are we gonna be doing there? I'm gonna be posting analysis. I'm gonna be sharing analysis in the morning and analysis in the evening. I'm gonna be sharing with you guys the top 4 pairs I usually look at during the day for every day, right? I'm gonna be doing that as well. And there's also gonna be live trading for only the members that are gonna be in the inner circle, the people that are gonna create the link and sign up and verify. So if you've done that, just immediately WhatsApp me on this number, and then I'm gonna tell you the T's and C's, and I'm gonna channel you to the VVIP and also that Discord, whereby the inner circle is gonna be there. So let's get it done, guys. Let's kill the market together. Remember, 20 spots left. After the first 20, we're done. So guys, see you there. We are going to learn how to analyze and how to master this trading strategy from just this video alone. And if you're intermediate as well, your skill is gonna be taken from intermediate to advanced. And if you're advanced, there's gonna be major points you will take out of this video, and you're going to be able to tweak your trading plans as well, right? Let's get into the video. So guys, let's start with the time frame, right? So when we are analyzing, right, we start off using time frames, right? So with my style, I usually start using the hard time frame going down. So I call this what's top-down analysis. So what is top-down analysis? So top-down analysis is when you start analyzing from the hard time frames to the lower time frames. So the major time frames that are needed with the way I trade is the monthly, the weekly, the daily, the 4-hour, the 1 hour, and finally the 15-minute, right? Those are the major time frames we're going to be looking at. And then they're gonna be executional time frames as well, and analyzing time frames. So what do we use the monthly time frame for? So the monthly time frame, it is used to check for monthly closes, to just get a mere indication that what is price going to do overall. Let's just say we're looking at this price action right here, right? And what happened? The month here closed bullish, and what happened after that? The whole of the price was bullish on Euro USD, right? So we just look at it for that. There's nothing much needed on the monthly time frame. Then we go for the weekly. We do use the weekly time frames when there are visible weekly highs and weekly lows, right? We do use them. But my favorite time frames, and I want you guys to write this down, my favorite time frames to start analyzing is going to be the daily, right? The daily, the 4-hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute. So to know how to analyze, we're just going to be focusing on the daily, the 4-hour, the 1 hour, and the 15-minute. But the weekly can also be needed. Let's say there isn't that much price action visible on the daily time frame, right? And then we can now extend to the weekly time frame if needed. But most of the time we found out that the weekly time frame isn't that much needed for analyzing, but then on some cases it is needed, right? So what do we do on the daily time frames, right? So on the daily time frames, you usually look for what? We usually look for our major highs and major lows, right? That is where major highs and lows are looked for, either the daily or the weekly. Those two time frames are the only time frames you guys should focus on when looking for your daily highs or your daily lows, or your major highs or your major lows, right? And then after that, we can follow by what? The 4-hour. the 4-hour, where we just look for our possible structures and also inflation points if they are available, right? And then the 1-hour, it is used for strictly the entry and for mere inflation points as well. So the entry and mere inflation points. And then with the 5-minute, strictly entry, right? Strictly the entry. So that is how we're going to be using our time frame on the strategy I'm gonna be showing you today. And by the way, if you all are guessing what type of strategy am I explaining, so it is going to be Falcon FX, right? I'm going to be explaining you guys how we analyze the Falcon FX, and also this can also help you if you're just doing pure technical analysis or pure price action, because those things are very similar. Falcon and pure price action is similar to like everything, because here I'm going to be talking about the ray lines, and others can use the ray lines for what? For support and resistance, right? And then the patterns as well are going to be inside here on this course that I'm dropping, right, that I'm recording. So if you're a pattern trader as well, you're gonna get some insight. So basically everyone who is partaking in pure price action is going to be getting a lesson today. And by watching this video again and again and again, I believe you guys will be professionals after this, professional analysis. But then if you are not, I'm going to be posting if you need, not say, let me not say if you are not, if you need more videos, I'm going to be posting these videos, right? I'm going to be posting these videos a lot on my channel. So you should guys stay tuned and watch everything I drop here, because I also talk about psychology, because psychology is also needed in your forex trading journey. And as much as technicals are needed, we do need both of these things. So yes, so I think that was it for the time frames. So I was just explaining the time frames that we're going to be using for our analysis, right? The major time frames we're going to be using is the daily, the 4-hour, the 1-hour, and the 15-minute, right? So with that said, we can move on with the second point, which is the ray lines, right? So when we are analyzing, guys, we start off using what? The ray lines, right? Using the ray lines. Why are we using the ray lines? Because we want to find what we call market direction. So market direction is a daily bias or a weekly bias that we use, that we are predicting the market to be bullish or bearish overall, right? So we first identify these areas where at the daily time frame, because the daily time frame carries more weight, right? The daily time frame carries more weight, so we're going to be using it to find out our market direction, right? And then we can drop down to the lower time frame to do more of the analysis, which I'll be explaining as we go down to the lower time frames, that what are we going to be looking in those time frames, right? So yes, we're at the daily time frame, right? And we're using our first element of analysis, which is what? The ray lines. So let's make an example here. We have our pair here, Euro USD. So this is my ray line. Our ray line is going to be something like this, right? These straight lines, right? This horizontal straight lines, which start here and then they end on infinity. Those are called ray lines, right? So we're going to be using those lines to find our market direction, right? How do we find these areas of market direction, or how do we place our ray line, right? Because a lot of you might be wondering, okay, fine, we know we use ray lines, how do you place these ray lines? Maybe some of you know how to place, but then you don't know how to place your ray lines precisely, or find those particular areas where the ray lines should be placed. So before we go to the charts, I'm just going to draw a sketch. So the market moves in two ways, right, guys? The market moves in two ways, which is what's the impulse and the what? The correction, right? This is a correction and the what? An impulse, right? And then the market comes impulse, correction, impulse, right? Impulse, correction, impulse, and then correction, impulse, and then correction, impulse, right? So the market moves in these waves, guys. The market moves in these waves. So when we are looking for our our market direction, how do you place our ray lines? You place your ray lines where a correction was made, where a correction was made, where a correction was made. Well, there was a collection of what? A collection of volume, because we call these corrections a collection of volume, right? We call them a collection of volume, these corrections. So how do we place? We place them at the edge, right? At the edge of the structure, right? At the edge of the structure. As you can see, that was the edge, here was the edge, and then that was the edge, and then as you see here, that was the edge again. So that is how we find our market direction, how we place our ray lines to find market direction, right? So there's a catch as well here. When we're looking for these corrections, we use the most recent corrections. You do not use corrections from far away, or long time corrections that were done long time ago in the market, because what will happen is that you'll find yourself causing confusion in your chart. Your chart is going to be a mess. So we focus on the current corrections, right? Current collection of volume, right? So we can remove these, we can remove these. So where is our current volume, our current market price? Current market price, you can just look, it is just here, right? So in order for your ray line to be confirmed, it needs to have 2 touches, right? 2 touches for it to be confirmed. So as you can see here, it was confirmed, right? And then there's also this one here, we call it the lowest low. So this is going to be our highest high, and this is going to be our lowest low, right? We use the current market price on the daily time frame. So we just say this is our daily time frame. So here we saw that let's make an example. Price hasn't dropped, price was here. So what happened here? So as I said, for a ray line to be confirmed, you need 2 touches. So this was our first touch, and this was our second touch of our ray line, right? Or where price touched. So what does the second touch mean? So this is a pattern on its own. I think by now most of you know that this is a double top, right? So with this said, already we know that we have a double top on the daily time frame. So what are you expecting the daily time frame to do? We're expecting the daily time frame to sell, because we have a double top on the daily. That is what we call a market direction, because we got a pattern on the daily, because here we're scanning for patterns on the daily time frame, because we know overall the market is gonna sell, because there is a pattern that we know that usually works on a price action, which is called a double top, whereby price will hit 2 times on this ray line and then it drops, right? And then we're expecting for price to fall to reach our support level, which is this low. We call it the support, right? And then this, we call it the resistance, or whatever names you want to call it. So this is, to me, I call it the highest high, and this is going to be a lowest low. Someone else will call this the resistance, or the support, right? So once the double top is hit, the lowest point from the first point of the double top is going to be our lowest low, going down. So what do I mean by that? Let's say here it is, this is our first point, we're going down. Which was our lowest point on the current market price? It is this one. So this is going to be our lowest low, where price action did the reversal or a collection of volume, right? So as you can see, this is going to be our lowest low, right? So with that said, I think I'm done. I'm talking about how do we find out what market direction, right? So we can remove it and go back to the chart now. So as you can see, now we're back on price action, right? So here we can just use this as our current market price, because you can see there's a lot that was happening on the daily. So we could just use this one as our current market price. So what happened here? We're going to be using our ray line, right? Fine. So as you can see, that was our double top, right? And then from that point, because as I said, we first place our ray line where there was a collection of a volume, where there was a correction. As you can see, this is impasse, correction, impasse. So this is a collection of a volume. So at the tip, that is where our ray line is going to be placed, right? And then what happened, as you can see, I said a ray line to be confirmed, we need 2 touches. So how many touches do we have? We have 1, we have 2. Already we have 2 confirmed touches, right? And then our lowest low, how do we find our lowest lowest low. As I said, we go from our first touch of the ray line going down to the right to the lowest point of this first touch of the collection of volume, which is this point right here. As you can see, that is what our lowest low. Right, now we're done identifying the ray lines on the daily time frame. So we go down now to the 4-hour time frame to see if there isn't any points to be identified, because with the strategy that I'm explaining, most of the time we're going to be using the ray lines other than the patterns, because the patterns they usually don't work, especially when you're using patterns alone. You need to pair the patterns together with the ray lines. With the ray lines, with the ray lines coming first and then the patterns coming secondary. Like your patterns, like the bullish flag, the bearish flag, those type of patterns. Your expanding, your triple tops, your triple bottoms, your rising wedge, your falling wedge. You see those patterns? Yes, you're going to be pairing those patterns with with the ray lines, right? So after we're done identifying our market direction or our ray lines on the daily, because here you can see our market direction was a our market direction was a sell, right? Our market direction was a sell, because as you can see, what do we have? We have a double top. So we're expecting we're expecting price action to go down to reach that point, because we reacted there, right? So on the overall, we're just expecting the market to go down, right? But that doesn't mean we are selling the market, right? Because that is going to be judged on what is going to be happening in the lower time frames, because we're going to be pairing the time frames, right? But then we know our major market direction is a sell. So if the major market direction is a sell, there is a way to be playing the forex market on the lower time frame. We can still buy the market, but then we need to be more consecutive. Because why? Because the market on the higher time frame presents us with with a sell market direction, right? Okay, so we're now at the 4-hour time frame. So what do we do at the 4-hour time frame? Because we're done with the daily, we do the same thing we were doing on the 4-hour, right? We do the same thing that we were doing on the daily time frame, right? What do we do? And then we identify our ray lines again, or patterns if they are available, because we start using the patterns on the 4-hour time frame and the 1-hour time frame if they are available. On the 4-hour, if you can see clearly there is a possible pattern, that is, then you draw your pattern. You do not just draw your pattern because you are forced to draw your pattern. No, if the 4-hour time frame isn't presenting us with any patterns, we just leave it with with the ray lines, and then we go to the 1-hour, where in the 1-hour patterns are to be identified. Right, if on the 1-hour the patterns are not there, what are we going to do then? We're going to be focusing the patterns. What do I mean by focusing? I mean we're going to be drawing the patterns, because we cannot enter the market without having a pattern, right? We cannot enter. We need the pattern at the end of the day. So that is what happens when people are saying, or traders are saying, we're waiting for the market to form. They're usually waiting on the 1-hour time frame for the patterns to form, or the patterns to complete. Let's say the pattern was forming, but then the pattern wasn't completing. So traders usually wait for the pattern to be completed, and then they enter. Those patterns are the very same patterns they are going to be using for an entry. Right, because I doubt traders can just enter the market from just candlesticks alone, from an impulse alone, from a correction alone. We need certain patterns. Every strategist different patterns they use there, and as this side we have specific patterns they use. And in this strategy is even better, because the patterns we use for entry, they are patterns you guys are familiar with. It's not like patterns you don't know. It's patterns you know, that you have seen them on the internet. But then the catch is, now it is the way you are going to be playing your patterns. You are not just going to be entering anyhow. There is a strategic way to be entering these patterns so that you can be able to what? To protect your stop loss and also make considerable amount of returns, right? But anyways, let's continue. So there is the 4 hour. So with the 4 hour time frame, again, we do the same thing we're doing at the daily time frame, but then now we're doing it on a micro time frame, right? A micro time frame from the daily is going to be the 4 hour, right? So as you can see, again, what happened? Price pushed down. We had the collection of volume, a pattern. As you can see, we had the pattern here, possible 1 2 3. Yeah, a 1 2 3. We had it there. So what does that mean for us? This is a significant area that we see that, okay, price did what? Price came to this level now. Now we're doing analyzing, because we've analyzed the daily. Now we're going to be focusing more insight on what is happening on the daily, right? Look what I mean by that. This was our analysis on the higher. Now we're left with this. So now we're analyzing this, because here we're done. We're focusing on what we didn't touch, right? So what did we touch? We didn't touch this portion. So now we're analyzing this portion, right? So as I said again, from the continuation here, how do we find our lowest low on this portion that is left? From this portion going down to the right is going to be our lowest low, which is what? This was the lowest point, right? So we touch there. That was our lowest point, and it. So now we're done with that, right? So we're done. Well, if there's still more price action to be analyzed, we do not leave. We continue analyzing, because as you can see here, there's still more price action to analyze here, because here we know we are waiting for price action to come down here, because we're trading this range now. And as much as we are looking for the sell on the high time frame, yes, to down there, but as you can see, we have this range which we are hoping to would see we feel price to the downside, right? So now look, listen, the daily time frame was saying what? The market direction is a sell. Now what is happening? The 4 hour as well is saying it's a sell. You know what I'm saying? So now we're having a what? We're having bonus confluences, right? We're having 2 confluences now. So our buyers, we have much more confidence in our buyers with the sell, with our market direction. We have a bias now that you say, bro, the market is going to sell. Why? We have 2 biases, and we're still going to be analyzing and going to find more biases, because you have to have more confluences, yeah, in order to get your entry. Not just one, you have to have a couple of confluences, right? So that you can be on the right side of probabilities, because here we're playing with probabilities. But then if you want to be a consistent, profitable Forex trader, you need to be on more odds to win than to lose, right? You have to win more times than you lose here, so you can be profitable. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. As you can see, what is happening here? Price is stalling right there. As we're observing price action here, we're looking for the continuations, and so we're going to be looking how can we add a ray line here. We're looking from the left, as you can see, with this leg, because here we're done. We have this leg, but price action is here. As you can see, with that leg, impulse correction. So we can draw a ray line from that point, and then it connects there. So when it connects there, what is happening, guys? This is another pattern, guys. This is another pattern. You know, what do we call this pattern? A double bottom. But then remember, guys, what did we say? The market direction is to a sell. So we can still buy Euro USD. How can we buy? We do have a double bottom. And what is happening here? We are trading back to structure, and we are getting somehow of a bullish momentum. And what else? We do also have a head and shoulder here. So there might be possibilities of price going up, but we're not done. Here, when we are buying, we need more confidence to the upside. We are buying with the higher time frame, but then yes, we're going to be using different entries if you want to buy this one, right? More solidified entries, more weighted entries, because now you are competing with the trend, right? We are not saying we cannot buy here. We can buy, because what? We do have a double bottom. Also, we do have a head and shoulder, but then we know more market direction is to the downside. So you are much more in risk to be caught on the wrong side of the buy and then the market continue to go down, right? So yeah, and also you can see that we do have another head and shoulder here. So more probabilities to the downside, right? So we're done with the 4 hour. I think we are done with the 4 hour, right? Now we're with the 1 hour. I think everything is done. We're left with this price action now to analyze. So now this is what? This is the executional time frame, the entry time frame, right? This is the entry time frame, guys. This is the entry time frame. So what do we do here? So now we're looking for the structure, because we was not finding structures on 4 hour, we didn't. So now we're hoping to find the structure on the 1 hour. This is where your pattern knowledge comes into play. So what is happening here? This is a pattern, this is a correction, right? So someone would come and say, okay, this is my pattern that I'm seeing here, right? This is my 1 2 3. So I'm waiting for a third touch. When you reach the third touch, I'm expecting the market to sell, right? Okay, that is fine. You can expect the market to sell. This is your pattern, right? Yeah, you can use similar entry. You can use varied entries here, because someone can risk entry here, which is still fine. Wait for proper candlestick. Someone can decide that, okay guys, if I come here now, what do? I push down and the correction, because you know guys, when you enter the market you use corrections. So your entry, you can take it there and then you can sell to the downside, or take your entry where? Take your entry there. So now what are we going to be doing? We're going to be just playing probabilities. We'll not be arguing with the market. If you lose, you lost. If you won, you won. There's no right and wrong at this point in time, because this pattern is valid, right? Someone else can say, what? Okay, now I'm discussing entries, different entries you can enter this position with. So someone else can say, okay, fine. Me, I feel like the buy is still valid because we have a head and shoulder. We also are also counter trending, which is not a crime to counter trend the move. So what you are going to be doing, you are going to be waiting for price to break this area, which has done, and wait for what? 1 hour continuation, right? Wait for a 1 hour continuation, and then you can take that one as a counter trend to the upside. That is the only way I can buy this one. I need a 1 hour continuation, right? And then I can counter trend to the upside. Someone else can come here and say, okay, we have this hook point. We call this hook points. We have that hook point. I'm waiting for price to do what? I'm waiting for price to come here, give me a push down, and then a continuation, and then we can enter that. So guys, yes, those are the type of entries we do enter with. But then I know I didn't go into depth with the video, right? I know I go into depth with the entries. I was in depth with analyzing and everything, but then with the entries I didn't go that much deep, right? I'm going to go much deep if I see you guys commenting. I want you guys to comment if you guys are liking such videos, right? Are enjoying such content. I'm going to continue creating this kind of videos, right? And I'm just going to be focusing on entries alone. There are going to be different topics I'm going to be talking about on technical analysis. So I'd appreciate if you guys comment here any ideas that, okay, wait, can you please explain this concept, and this concept, right? I'm going to be doing that, because the video, it is getting very long, but then it is getting very long with a course, because I am dropping value, guys, free value. So the least you guys can do is to like the video, subscribe if you're new, or if you are watching the videos and you haven't subscribed, you can subscribe as well, and also to share the content, because as I'm dropping this, I'm trying to grow as well. So this is an exchange of services. You guys help the channel grow, and you guys I help you guys to increase your forex knowledge. And as the channel is growing, the more the value I put to working with you guys here on YouTube. And also I do have a free Telegram channel. The links are gonna be below. You can just tap there and join that channel. And I have a free WhatsApp group where I provide free signals, free analysis, right? And yeah, T's and C's apply as well, but then those things are going to be for free. If you're supporting the channel, obviously you're going to be getting a lot of services for free. So you can join those channels, the Telegram channel, also the WhatsApp group, so you can be updated on our offers and discounts. And because I also have mentorship as well. If you wish to be mentored by me, you are liking the way I analyze, you are liking the way I explain, and you're saying that I really do have the skill and you want me to mentor you one-on-one, I am available for one-on-one mentorship. So you guys can inquire with me on Instagram. I also have my links here for Instagram, Facebook, and also the WhatsApp as well. I do have a link on WhatsApp. The link on WhatsApp, you usually find it on my Telegram channel, where I post the analysis. Where the analysis are at the bottom, there's usually a link for my mentorship. I just leave a WhatsApp link there. You can just tap that link and then you inquire about the mentorship and yeah, everything and stuff. But then I think that this video is done now. I'm going to be dropping the next video based on the comment section, on which areas you missed, or which areas you guys want me to elaborate on, right? But then it's been a pleasure, guys. See you on the next video.